Recording.
All right, you guys. So I'm so excited tonight to have Eric with us, the founder of Teamzy. We are so just over the top that he would take the time to do this. It's very rare to have a CEO and founder that is willing to take the busy time out of their schedule. I know how it is to manage a lot of people, and I can only imagine how many he manages. And so it is an honor and a treat. So the main thing I want us to do, and for me to ask all of you to do, is once this is recorded, definitely share it with your team so that we can maximize his time, because we have thousands on our team. I know maybe everyone can't plug in live, but we definitely want to make sure that this gets in their hands. Also, take notes. Towards the end, we'll have a Q&A, but more than anything, Eric, we're just so thankful for the platform you've created. It has made an immense difference in our business just literally in the few weeks that we've been doing it. And we believe in it. We're excited, and we are all ears. So thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much. What a great introduction. Well, I'm excited to be with y'all. My name is Eric Johnson, creator and CEO of Teamzy. I am coming to you live from my home office in beautiful San Diego, California. And here's what we're going to do. I am going to try to squeeze so much into the time we have together tonight. So definitely make sure you have a pad or something to take notes on. You may feel, and I apologize in advance, if it feels like you are sipping water from a fire hose tonight, but we are recording it so you can rewind any pieces. I tend to talk kind of fast because I really want to teach you guys a ton. Here's kind of the goal for today. I want to teach you guys a little bit. I'm going to show you Teamzy. We'll go into Teamzy, which if you're not using it, I think everyone here is using it, but even if you're not, Teamzy is a software application that's going to make your life so easy building relationships for your business. We'll show you how to do it. I'm going to show you the best workflows to crush a power hour in Teamzy. Okay. Teamzy is based on a system and a philosophy called relationship marketing. This is actually a book I wrote on this topic. I'm going to teach you guys how to do it in less than an hour a day, but also you got to understand the philosophy of relationship marketing. So I'm going to teach you a little bit about that as well. Does that make sense? So you understand what you're doing in the system and then how to do it. So the first thing I've got for you here is just a quick presentation so I can talk about some of these principles. Hold on a second, y'all. Let's see. I forgot to share my screen. I'm seeing it, but you're not. Here we go. Let me hit this button. There you go. Okay, great. You guys see the presentation now? Okay, so here's what I want to talk to you about. How to systemize your success with relationship marketing to become a power hour boss, because all of this we got to get done in less than an hour a day. Okay. So just some quick background on me, and I was telling you guys a little bit of this story before we hit record, but my background is not network marketing. I'm what's considered an outsider to our industry, right? My background is business coaching. I've been a professional business coach and consultant for 20 years now, helping people to build relationship-based business. Does it make sense? When I got into the network marketing space, well, I'll get there in a second, but my mind was blown at what was still being taught. I feel like a lot of what's being trained in our industry is from the 50s, right? Now they've added social media to it, but it's the same tactics, the same thing that's given our industry a bad reputation and has turned so many people off to the business. There is a much better way to do it. That's what I want to talk to you guys about tonight. But here's what happened in my life. I had this amazing job and career as a business consultant. I loved it, but I was always working. How many of you guys have a job in addition to your business? I was always working. And the challenge that I had was this. Here's my favorite people in the world. This is my family, and I never got to see them. I was constantly working. I just felt like I saw my kids only in their pajamas. In the mornings, they were in pajamas when I left. And then in the evening, when I came home, they were in pajamas. I had a great job that I loved, but I wanted more. I wanted to be with my family. I wanted to enjoy them. I wanted to spend more than a half an hour a night with my wife. And of course, I kind of wanted to make a little bit more money. Can I get an amen on that one? Yeah, I wanted a little bit more money. I live in San Diego and it's really expensive here. And it's okay. We pay for the sunshine, but you got to keep earning, right? You got to keep earning to live here. So I looked at the network marketing industry opportunity about 7 years ago. And I thought, wow, what a great opportunity. I mean, you could start your own business for basically nothing, right? And this business has the potential to give me everything I want, the income, the flexibility of time, right? Feeling like I'm really helping people. So I started to look into it more seriously. Here was the challenge I had. When am I going to build a business? I don't have time as it is. Can anyone relate to this? And so I looked at the calendar and I got real disciplined with it. I said, you know what? If I could just give this business 1 hour a day, I think I could squeeze out 1 hour a day. So I started looking for the tools that I would need to leverage that time. I mean, you can do it in an hour a day, but you have to be efficient and focused. You can't spend a lot of time planning and straightening out your desk and all that stuff, right? So I started looking, and you guys know where this is going because you found me. There was nothing out there. There was nothing out there for our industry that was, in my opinion, any good. The few things that I did find were not based on building relationships. So it was a waste of time for me. It was all about how to build relationships in that 1 hour a day. And so long story short, I got together a team of people smarter than me, and we built Teamzy and launched it. And honestly, you guys, I sent a text message with a link to 20 people I knew that were in our business. And the next thing I know, just over 5 years later, we've had more than 150,000 people use Teamzy. It's just kind of taken off. Just like your team discovered it and you guys are excited about it, this is how Teamzy has grown. And just to kind of give you guys an idea of the results people are getting. Oops, I went too fast. People that are using Teamzy actively, they're averaging 21 new customers and 9 new recruits over 90 days. And some of you guys have been using this a couple weeks. You're starting to see how that's possible. So these are people using it just actively. They're averaging 21 new customers and 9 recruits over 90 days. Just so you guys know, I always quote over 90 days. Why is that? Because there is a trailing effect to building relationships, right? And so you should always look at your business in 90-day chunks because it shows the results to the activities you're doing now, you'll see in 90 days typically. Okay, so let's dive into the content. Enough about that stuff. I want to talk to you about relationship marketing. And this is becoming kind of a buzzword lately. People are using this a lot, but I don't think they quite get what it is. So let me just define this for you. First off, relationship marketing is a philosophy of doing business that puts relationships and people ahead of sales and products. Okay, it's a philosophy of doing business that puts relationships and people ahead of sales and products. Have you guys been approached by people in a direct sales company in the past where you felt like they just painted a target on your back and wanted to sell you something? That's the way a lot of people feel. In fact, you may come up against people that are very skeptical for the same reason because that's been done to them. But we're going to put those people ahead of the sale. We're going to put the relationship first. I'm going to explain that in a second, why that's so important. Also, relationship marketing, it's not some abstract feel-good concept. We're not going to hold hands and sing Kumbaya at the end of this training tonight, unless you guys really want to, but that's not my plan. This is a proven system that we follow. Okay, it's a proven system that we follow. We always knowing what to do next. It's not just about building relationships. What does that mean? It's a system to build relationships. Does that make sense? I've been teaching this system 20 years, every kind of business you can imagine. And it works every time. It's so cool. Okay, let's keep going. Also, I want you to understand that relationship marketing is a lead generation system. It's a lead generation system. That's a system that initiates consumer interest or inquiry into the products or services of a business. As business owners, who's a business owner? Let me see your hands. Yes, as business owners, your primary role as a business owner is to generate leads. It's to decide which lead generation system you're going to use. How are you going to generate new leads? How are you going to initiate new interest? Does this make sense? I don't want you to think of yourself as salespeople. You are salespeople, but more than that, you're in the lead generation business. Your business is generating leads. Now, here's the good news about this. Next principle is this. Developing and deepening relationships is your paramount duty as a business owner. Developing and deepening relationships is your paramount duty as a business owner. So your business is to generate leads and your duty is to develop relationships. Now, look, let me just explain this, you guys. Because people think of building relationships as kind of like frosting. It's the cake. Does this make sense? It's the cake. And the relationship is more important. Listen, I know you guys have amazing products. We have a whole bathroom full of your products. Your products rock, right? But you need to understand that the relationship is worth more than the sale. The relationship is worth more than the sale. Why is this? Because we turn relationships into advocates by investing time and providing outstanding service. We turn relationships into advocates by investing time and providing outstanding service. I wish I had all day just to talk on this one concept, but let me just kind of wrap this up so I can move on with this. Here's the idea, you guys. Everybody you talk to, your goal is to make them your advocate. They may not want your products, but they can still be your advocate. They can still be so enthusiastic about your mission that they want to connect other people to it. Does this make sense? So I have taught this concept, you guys, to every type of business owner in the world. Your business is no different. If you can get this, you will constantly have exponential growth in your business. When I work with a real estate professional, do you think everybody they talk to is ready to buy or sell a house? No. But does everybody they talk to know people probably who will be buying or selling homes soon? Yeah. Does everybody you talk to know people who have skin? Yes. It's the advocates that matter. So look, you guys are in Teamzy. Just real quick on this. You're in Teamzy. You message 100 people. Great. 5 people are interested. Yoo-hoo! 95 people have been invested in. 95 people who you reached out to make their day are one step closer to being an advocate. They didn't buy yet, but they're one step closer to being an advocate. Isn't this cool? Okay. Next principle, relationship marketing depends on trust. Relationship marketing depends on trust. In other words, if you're a jerk, this ain't gonna work, okay? This system is based on trust in so many tactics, I'm putting them in quotes just to be gracious, that are taught by trainers in our industry are disingenuous. We're taught to do things that are just, how many of you guys have gone to a training? It's okay. You can admit this, I won't tell them. And you've thought, I don't know if I want to do that. I don't know if I feel comfortable doing that. Have you guys ever felt that way? And that's why, because you're genuine people and you're like, that feels a little bit disingenuous. Relationship marketing depends on trust. I'm going to teach you right now how to build trust, but just keep in mind, I'm just going to assume that you can't do anything disingenuous. You can't do anything to violate trust, or you're back to ground zero. Make sense? Okay. But here's the good news is when people trust you, the work is fun because you don't have to sell or convince. You get right to helping. That's why we're here, right? To help people. Also, you never have to feel like an icky salesperson. When people trust you, you don't have to feel icky. How many of you are worried about coming across icky? You guys are tougher than me. That's me with 2 hands, right? And trust, when people trust you, you get to go for yes. So, one of the things that really motivated me to build Teamzy and take this training that I've been doing elsewhere into our industry was this concept of go for no. Have you guys ever done a go for no challenge? It's really common. Look, no big deal. And I'm not here to criticize it. I just think it's wrong. Is that the same as criticizing it? Here's why. They asked me to go for no. I was in the business 2 weeks. I had no clue anything about this business. I didn't know how the comp plan worked. I just knew that I was signing people up and I was helping people. And I got ranked up to the level in my first 2 weeks where corporate assigned me a salesperson to help me. You guys do the same thing, I know, when you get to a certain level. And they put me in a group of people and they were doing a go for no challenge. I said, you're doing what? They said, yeah, we're going for no. We're going to see how many times we can get rejected because they're badges of honor on the way to a yes. I was like, that's insane. I don't want to get rejected once. I hate rejection. Can I get an amen to anyone who hates rejection? That was me. I was like, why would you push people away? Why not bring all of those people along the journey with you? And that's what I want you guys to understand. This process of relationship marketing doesn't result in no's and rejections. It results in yeses. Now, they might not say yes right now, but you're putting people on a road to relationship with you. Does this make sense? Okay, next slide. Let me just teach you real quick the basics on how to build trust. So you guys kind of understand where we're going with this and what we're going to be doing in Teamzy, right? It's more than just tracking your follow-ups, guys. It's an actual approach to intentionally build relationships. So here are the 4 essential ingredients to building trust. Number 1 is chemistry. Okay, chemistry. Number 2 is character. Number 3 is competence. And number 4 is consistency. Chemistry, character, competence, consistency. Sometimes we call these the 4 C's. Okay, you got those? Let's talk about them really quick. Chemistry is creating a connection with someone. Chemistry is creating a connection with someone. Where Where do you have some common ground with them? What is it about you they can relate to? Okay. Sorry, I got a typo in there. It threw me off. My mom was an English teacher, so when I see a grammatical error in my slide, throws me off. Okay, we'll fix it later though. But chemistry is creating a connection with someone where you have where do you have some common ground with them? What is it about you they can relate to? The bottom line to this is people want to do business with friends. People want to do business with friends. How many of you have been taught, don't do business with friends? That's a bunch of malarkey. Look, you guys, so much. Our whole like corporate culture in this country has gotten so far away from the truth of human relationships that we're seeing a backlash against it. The whole 80s Raiders, all that kind of stuff, the go for no concepts, like people don't want anything to do with that anymore. We want to feel connected to each other, especially after what we've gone through in the last year, more so than ever. We need to feel connection with people. We want to talk to people we trust, right? All the information in the world about skincare is on the internet. True? Why is it that 85% of purchasing decisions are based on the recommendations of a friend? Because we need people we trust to give us good advice. So we need to make friends. We need to ask questions. We need to build that rapport with people right away. It's super important that they like you. Nobody wants to do business with someone they don't like, and everybody wants to feel like I have my person. This is my friend. She's really great at skincare. You should talk to her. Make sense? Number two is character. This one's mega important. Character is when you demonstrate how much you care and that you're relatable. Character is when you demonstrate how much you care and that you're relatable. Please notice something about my definition. You don't have character. Character is not something you have. Character is something you do. Character is something you do. We think of character as like the sum total of all the good things we've done in our life, right? I've done more good things than bad, so I have good character. That's not true. Character is a decision. It's actions that you take consistently to demonstrate your care for other people. Does that make sense? I know there's probably some people on this call of faith, and you guys get this concept. Because I know my faith teaches us that doesn't matter what you've done. It matters where your heart is today and where you're going, right? Characters like this too, you guys. It's demonstrating your care and that you're relatable. So look, I want you to think about this like this. Everything you do, how you communicate with your team and customers, how you post on social media, how you interact with people out in the world. Are you demonstrating your care for others? How you drive your car on the road. Are you demonstrating your care for others? How many of you guys have a Rodan Fields sticker or something on your vehicle? Don't cut people off in traffic if you do that, right? How are you showing your character? Do you return? Does anybody like me get irritated when people leave the shopping cart in the middle of the parking lot? Those are little ways to show character. Like you're showing how much you care for others. When you leave that shopping cart in the middle of the parking lot, that's showing that you don't care about others right now. So it's the little things that we do that build our character. And this is the number one marketing tool in your business is your character. And it's an intentional decision to consistently show your care for other people. Some of you are private. So you're doing nice things, but you're not showing people. You got to get out. You got to go do it publicly, right? So think about ways to show people your character because it's super mega important. Number three, competence. Competence is when you demonstrate you're good at what you do and you're a business person. Competence is when you demonstrate you're good at what you do in your business. Listen, I have a problem. Can you help me solve it? Are you competent? How many of you feel like you are very competent to talk to me about any skincare issue I might be having and how your products can help me? I need to know that. There's a lot of people. How many people right now are working for Rodan Fields as independent consultants? Tens of thousands. Why should I choose you? I need to know you're competent. It's more than just you've got good character and I like you because we're old buddies. But if I don't respect you as a business person, it makes it harder. Does this make sense? So listen, it's really important that you build competence, constantly educating yourself, constantly learning about the products. Some of you are probably new. That's okay. You don't have the same competence that Adrienne has. So lean into her. Tell her story. Tell people that she's your leader. Does this make sense? Competence is super important. You need to be growing, constantly learning. And it's not just learning what corporate teaches you about the products, it's learning stories. It's learning stories. If you're new and you don't have a lot of stories for yourself or for your customers you've helped, then learn the stories of your teammates so you can share those stories, right? And we can't make claims, but we can tell stories. So it's important, competence. And the second piece is, why should I join your team? Why should I join your team? Do I believe you're a business person who can mentor me into this business? And again, learn. But at the same time, if you're new, don't make stuff up. You don't ever want to be fake. Okay. But you do want to lean into your team, lean into the competence of your team, tell their stories, tell people who they're joining. It's a winning team is a winning team. The lowliest person on a winning team is still a champion, right? So let people know they're joining something special. Look, I'm new. I know I'm your cousin. You've seen me with my pants on backwards, but I'm connected to this amazing team. Does it make sense? You guys don't even understand. I mean, I've had my own journey with some of my family. They're like, they still think of me as somebody who waits tables. It's because I did it for so many years. How many of you guys waited tables and served? It's like, oh, you have your own company? Yeah, I have my own. Yes, I have my own company. Oh, I thought does this make sense? So your family sometimes doesn't know that you've grown. So you need to lean into your team and also share all those milestones. You win a little sales contest for the week and you get a free handbag from RF. Great. Post that on social media and let people know, hey, I won this, or I got a little bonus, or I got some recognition, so they can see you growing in your competence. Okay, so real quick on these: chemistry, character, competence. There's an underlying principle to this, and then I'm going to jump to number 4, and we'll get into Teamzy after that. But this is the principle I want you guys to get. So if you're taking notes, make sure you get this part, okay? When somebody's thinking of doing business with you, they only care about 3 things. Can I trust you? Do you care about me? Are you good at what you do? Can I trust you? Do you care about me? Are you good at what you do? Now look at real quick on these, you guys. Look at these questions. If somebody knows the answer is yes to all 3, you've got an advocate. If somebody knows that one of these is a no, they will not do business with you. Okay? And they're very likely to tell other people not to do business with you, because some of you guys can think of yourself responding this way to somebody, right? If somebody's not sure, I think it might be yes, but I'm not sure, they'll raise objections. Who gets objections sometimes? That's okay. That just means that they don't know yet. Well, you haven't built that relationship out. They don't have that level of trust yet. You have to keep investing in that person. Does this make sense? Objections are great because objections are basically somebody saying, I'm almost there. I just need you to talk me through this. Does it make sense? So it's really great. All right. So you got that real quick. Number 4, consistency. Consistency. The most important and best way to build trust is by being consistent. And the number one way for you to know it's somebody you can't trust is when somebody tells you to trust me. Just trust me. You can trust me. It's like, don't tell me to trust you. Show me, right? Show me. You got to be consistent. Now, I love this principle too. And that's that people respect consistency and desire it for themselves. People respect consistency and desire it for themselves. What does this mean? It means that by being consistent, not only do you become more successful, but it attracts people to you. It attracts people to you. How many of you guys are super excited? Even more excited than joining RF was the team that you're on and the team community, right? Why is that? It's because you're now part of a group of consistent people. It feels amazing. Right? And it's like you go into the normal world, most people are struggling with that kind of stuff. And then you have a group of people who are motivated and excited. It's like a rarefied air, right? So by being consistent, you become more successful yourself. You become a leader that other people follow, and that attracts people to your team, which is pretty cool. Now let's just talk about consistency really quick. Let me know, you guys, how many of you are consistent products of your product? Hopefully everybody, right? I mean, is this one obvious? Yeah. Okay. I won't go into it then, because I got a lot of stuff to talk about. Sometimes I feel the need to actually talk about that, because some people, I've come across people who don't use the dang products that they're representing. How do you expect anything to work? Okay. So you got to be a consistent product of your product. Where's my social media people? Who's consistent on social media, sharing stories, sharing products, letting people know that you're in this business and that you are the center of all things skincare? Yeah, a few. I see some hands. Good. Some of you are like, I need to work on that a little bit. That's okay too. That's okay too. And I'm not talking about being spammy and being in everybody's face trying to just sell products all day, but people need to know that you are passionate about this and that you're an expert in this area. Does this make sense? A good friend of mine who was in one of my Teamzy boot camps, she had been doing the business for several years. She got to a decent income and she was kind of at a plateau. She asked me to take a look at her Facebook and Instagram. And I said, I can tell you love your products, but you've never said anywhere on here that this is your business. Nobody knows they can buy these products from you. She's like, really? I never do that. I'm like, no, you never do that. So she went too far right to the other end of the spectrum. She didn't let people know. So you got to be consistent about sharing that. Now, real quick, this is the real checkup from the neck up, you guys. And you know what? Actually, let me see your faces for this. If you guys can turn on your cameras, if they're not on, let me just take a quick look at everyone's face real quick. Let me go to the gallery and see everybody. Okay, great. How many of you guys, the real checkup from the neck up is this: consistent with relationships? How many of you guys need help being more consistent, staying in contact with people? Well, that's good. That's why I'm here, right? That's why we're talking about Teamzy. Now, really quick on this. I've got this great principle. Keep your cameras on. I'm just going to share my screen one more time real quick to teach you this principle, but I want to see your faces for this next piece. This is the thing that, this is a really cool principle, and it's the central principle of tonight, which is this: investing time and connecting with people is the only way to deepen relationships. This is why we need to be in touch with people, you guys, because investing time and connecting with people is the only way to deepen relationships. And if you can deepen relationships, you have a huge business. Not only huge, but fun and rewarding. Does this make sense? You guys got that? Investing time and connecting with people is the only way to deepen relationships. Now, real quick, just by show of hands, how many of you have ever received an amazing card or letter from somebody you love that had that handwritten message in it? You know, the one that got you right in the heart. Yeah, people are already raising their hands. Yes, 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 yes. Okay, great. Good. Hopefully everybody. If you've never received a card like that gave you the feels, put your address in the chat. We're all going to write you one tonight. Make sure you get one, right? But here's the thing that's amazing about this. How many of you, that you thought of a specific card, maybe from a specific person you love? How many of you kept that card? You still have it somewhere? Everybody. Isn't that amazing? Okay, let me see hands if you've got a stash, a stack or a drawer or a box or a crate full of these that you've kept and can't part with. Isn't it amazing? I have, how many of you are parents? Just about everybody on my screen, which is a lot of us. That's great. Like for my kids, I have 4 kids. I have a bin for each one, you know, of every little special thing. It's amazing how we keep these. And you guys, I have taught this little class all over the world, Asia, you know, I've taught just about every group of people possibly who can understand English, because, you know, I do it in English. Everybody does the same thing. We all keep these cards. It's amazing how much we value them. When we pass away, sometimes our family treasure those cards and letters more than anything else we leave behind. Isn't that true? Okay, so I've made my point. Real quick, here's another example. This is a happy birthday postcard. You ever get one of these? This one I got from my life insurance salesperson for my birthday, but sometimes businesses will send these out, right? I see a couple hands going up. Okay, great. Did you put this in a special place? Did this get saved? No, this got thrown away. In fact, you can see mine's like all messed up. It's had water spilled on it. And I really just keep it to make fun of it when I'm training a team like you guys. But this is an important principle I want you to understand. Investing time and connecting with people is the only way to deepen relationships. So why don't we value this? Because this required, first, no investment of time. We put no value on something that has no time invested in it. It's an automatic system. Doesn't mean anything. The second piece is, this wasn't a personal connection. This is a bulk mail out, right? So if you want to deepen a relationship, you have to connect person to person, personally, and you need to invest some time. Then it has value. Otherwise, it's just junk. Does this make sense? And when you're looking at marketing, listen, you guys are business owners. There's a lot of things out there besides Teamzy to try to catch your attention, shiny objects. You got to say, one of the buzzwords is automated marketing. This is automated marketing, you guys. How does it feel when you get it? Doesn't feel deep, does it? Because it lacks the connection and it lacks the time invested. Now, I'm not telling you that you need to be writing letters and cards all day long and making deep impact all day. But if you have a reason to write somebody a handwritten note, you should do that because they'll keep it forever. Have you ever thought about that? I bought these really beautiful cards. They have the Teamzy logo on one side and the other side is just like white in these beautiful envelopes that I write notes in and send sometimes. So if you can think of a reason to send somebody a note, they'll keep it, put your heart into it, they'll keep it forever. However, and you can log those in Teamzy, by the way. You can log those in Teamzy. And I've even given you some scripts on what you can write in a handwritten note to people professionally in Teamzy, just so you guys know. But really, I'm talking about messaging somebody, sending them a text message or messaging them on Messenger. You can invest 5-10 seconds and you can make a big impact in somebody's day because that was time invested just in them. Does that make sense? And we're going to talk about it when I jump into Teamzy right now, how we're going to make people's day. And I want you to get into the make someone's day mindset when you're doing power hours in Teamzy. When you're messaging people in now Teamzy is going to make it look like you're investing a lot of time, but because it helps you be so efficient, it's just seconds, right? But it's going to look like you're spending 5-10 minutes on people when they get these messages. Does this make sense? But the point is that we can make people's day. And the more people's day we make, not only is it awesome doing that, right? But it creates conversations. Creating conversations is how we create opportunities to deepen relationships and uncover opportunities for our business, right? Are you guys with me? All right, so let me show you. Let's dive in here. Wait, I think I might have just one more slide before I jump into Teamzy. Can you guys tell I'm excited about this stuff? Who's getting excited with me? I haven't even showed you Teamzy yet. This is great. You're already excited. Okay, so here's the good news. Philosophically, I can tell by all the nodding heads and smiles, you guys are with me. But there's more than philosophy. You need a system. You got to have a system. You need a way to stay in contact with all of your relationships. You have to know when you're going to contact them, right? So how do you do a power hour if it takes 3 hours to plan it? No, you just need to know who do I need to contact today? What am I going to say? So don't stare at my screen for an hour coming up with the perfect message. Who's guilty of this one? Yeah, that was me too. It's okay. I figured it out and I'll teach you. You can figure it out too. And then make sure that nobody falls through the cracks. Make sure that nobody falls through the cracks. It's the number one problem in our business. We spend so much time getting people close and then we let them drop through the cracks. And I'll teach you guys how to not do that tonight. So let me dive real quick into Teamzy. Let's see here. Teamzy right here. Great. There it is. Let's share the screen. All right. So I know a lot of you guys are already using Teamzy. Maybe some of you aren't. So let me just show you quickly how to set this up. First off, you go to teamzy.com. You can get a free trial. Okay. Get a free trial. And when you start your free trial, make sure you choose the Rodan Fields version so you get the right version, right? The custom version. Okay, so once you log into your free trial, this is the first screen you'll see. Teamzy is a CRM. Have any of you ever heard of a CRM? That stands for Contact Relationship Management. Okay, it's a lot of words. Basically, it means that it's software that manages all your contacts. And most people who have to use a CRM at work hate it. They're super complicated and kind of annoying. So what we did with Teamzy was we made it so that people they can't even feel that it's CRM. We've made it so easy. This setup wizard makes it so easy to set up. Anyone can do this, right? So let me show you quickly how it works. There's a little video from me, which we'll skip because you got me live. Okay. The first thing you want to do is set an income goal. What income level do you want to be at in your business? Okay. And so you slide this little dot up and down depending on your income level. So you can see my goal was set at $150,000 a year. Now, this might not be your income goal, right? Your level right now. This is the goal this is the income level you'd like to be at 12 months from now. If you use Teamzy 5 days a week, where do you want to be 12 months from now? Make sense? So set your goal. So I set mine at 150,000. Now, Teamzy will tell you exactly what you need to be doing to get to that goal in 12 months. So for example, It's telling me to connect with 9 prospects, 6 customers, and 4 consultants each day, 5 days a week. Okay. Now, let me see hands for folks who already have a pretty great income coming in from your business. For you guys, what I want you to do is your goal is going to be the difference. So if you're already making 100,000 a year and you want to make 200,000 a year next year, your goal will be the difference, 100,000. Make sense? Okay. So set your goal, click continue. Now what happens is now Teamzy is configured to my goals. So each one of you will have a customized dashboard when you get there based on your goal, which is pretty cool. The next step here is getting all your contacts into Teamzy. So we want to get your team, your consultants into Teamzy. We want to get your customers into Teamzy. We want to get your Facebook friends into Teamzy. We want to get all your contacts in here. So no more pads of paper, sticky notes, digging through your phone, all this stuff, you guys, right? You're going to have it in one place now, organized. When you meet somebody new, you don't have to write their stuff down on a scrap of paper. You pull out your phone, because Teamzy's cloud-based. It'll be in your phone. It'll be everywhere. You pull out your phone, you add them right into Teamzy. You put them right into your management system. Make sense? You set your follow-up, everything is there. In fact, I find people are very impressed when you say, well, let me just add you right into my contact management system now. And they see you creating their profile. They're like, wow, that's very pro. Yeah. So it's pretty cool. So you'll have it organized in one place, because you really can't build a successful business if you're feeling disorganized. True? Yeah. Now, here's the best part about this, and I'm going to show you in a second. Besides having it in one place, Teamzy has a special algorithm that cycles all these contacts through the dashboard, so you never lose track of anybody. I'll show you how that works in a second. Okay, so we've got everything in Teamzy. We're ready to launch. Here's what it looks like. Okay, here's my Teamzy dashboard. Now, a couple things I'll show you real quick, and then we're going to dive into this power hour together. You can see right here are my today's activity goals. You guys see that? So these are the goals that I need to do today. And they are to connect with 9 prospects, 6 customers, and 4 consultants. Now, when I say connect, here's what I mean. My goal is to make their day. Okay. My goal is to make their day. I'm not trying to get something from them. I'm trying to just give them something, a smile, a little pick me up. Does this make sense? Because this is how you get a massive amount of responses. If you lead with Rodan Fields, you're going to get a lot of people ignoring the message. True? So we're just going to make their day. That's it. We just want to make their day. So I'm going to do that now with 9 prospects, 6 customers, 4 consultants. That's less than 20, 19 people. I could do that in 15 minutes. But we're going to assume it'll take you 30, because you're probably newer than me to Teamzy. Imagine it'll take you 30. I'll show you how to do that. Now, I've got a goal here also to share 3 times. To share 3 times. So what do I mean by share? This is very simple. People are always like, well, what about this? What about this? I'm just going to boil this down to you. There's 2 things that we count as a share. Did you share the business opportunity? Did you share a product solution? Okay, that's a share. Now, there's a million things we do to lead to that moment, but we log those shares in Teamzy. We log those. It's a milestone in our conversation where we've been able to share the business or share a product solution. And then ads, this is just adding new people to Teamzy. My goal is to add 3 people every day. Are you with me? And you can see I added 1 to Teamzy today. There she is at the top of my list right there. Aha. Are you guys with me? Okay, so here's the deal. The today's activity bar in Teamzy is what we want you to do today. Yes, I set a goal for 12 months, but this is for today. This is an important concept, because if you want to have a business that's big, how many of you want to have a business that's big? Good. If you want a business that's big, you got to have a focus that's small. Okay, let me just say it again. If you want a business that's big, you must have a focus that's small. And today is the only day we have to work, right? Today's the only day we have to work. It's so funny. This concept of committing to today is such a huge concept. It was an absolutely life-changing concept for me. I just want to do you mind if I go on a quick tangent on this real quick with you guys? I just got to share this with you. When I was preparing to marry my amazing wife, Lisa, my good friend and pastor, Will, took me on a hike up this mountain. It was like, we're going to go on a hike and we're going to talk about being a good husband. I was like, all right, I'm down. So we hike up this mountain. We get to the top. We're sipping water from our canteens. And he says, Eric, I need to talk to you a little bit about this marriage commitment. And I was like, okay, pastor, what is it? He says, a lot of people think that marriage is a lifetime commitment. And I said, yeah. He said, it's not true. Marriage is not a lifetime commitment. I said, what do you mean? He said, marriage is a daily commitment. He said, marriage is a daily commitment. He goes, if you think you have a lifetime, you're going to screw up in the here and now. He goes, if you know you only have today to be the best husband you can be, you'll have a marriage that lasts forever. He goes, so can you commit today to your wife? I said, yeah, I can commit today. And he goes, can you wake up tomorrow and do it again? And you guys, this concept was life-changing because I understood, okay, great. I need to ask every morning, you know, in my devotional time, I need to ask, help me to be the best husband I can be today. And then that spills over to other things. Help me to be the best business owner I can be today. Help me to be the best father I can be today. Help me to be the best I can in impacting people's lives today through my Teamzy Power Hour, right? I don't have 12 months to build my business. I have today. Are you guys with me? So I know I go off on deep tangents. I'm sorry, I can't help it. I get excited about this stuff, right? But it's important that we understand that's why your Teamzy dashboard's built that way. You've got today. Now, how many of you guys didn't do your Teamzy stuff yesterday? Anybody? Okay, no big deal. You've got today. You don't have to go back and do yesterday's. You just need to do today's. Make sense? You got to recommit. You got to recommit today. You can give up. I love this quote. I forget who said it, but you can give up all hope of having a better past. Right? That's gone, but we have today. All right, back to Teamzy. Let's do this power hour together. So real quick on this, I showed you guys kind of how these goals set up. Now I'm going to scroll down a little bit, and this is the power hour section. The power hour section is designed so that you can get immediately focused on the right things. Teamzy is very powerful. It holds a lot of information, and it's like going to a library and browsing information, right? You could be in there all day. No, I don't want that. What the Power Hour module is, it's as if you have an assistant who says, Mr. Johnson, everyone you need to talk to today is on your desk in order. Okay, it's all done for you. Don't think about anything. I know you're a busy person. It's all set up for you. So Teamzy is like your assistant. It takes all that data and it tells you, here's what you're going to do today. And it does it based on a very simple system. You notice that next to each person's name is a number. That's how many stars I've given them. 5-star people come up first. Makes sense, right? 4-star people come up next. 3-star people come up after that, and so on. The stars is not rating that human being. It's just rating the level of relationship you have with them. Make sense? How am I only a 2-star person? Well, we don't know each other that well. That's all. I'm sure you're a fine person. Does this make sense? So what happens is the stars give them priority, and then it also determines how often they come back. So 5-star people come back every 30 days. 4-star people come back every 60 days. 3-star people come back every 90 days. 2-star people come back every 120 days. You don't have to set follow-ups. You don't have to remember them. Even if you totally mess up, they cannot fall through the cracks. They come back. Does this make sense? And this helps you stay in touch with a huge list of people on a regular basis. It also keeps you from overdoing it with people, right? Because they disappear for a month or two. So it keeps you from overdoing it and it keeps you in touch. Now, what happens here on the Power Hour, there's 4 lists on the left: prospects, customers, consultants, and follow-ups. Okay. So the left shows me who to connect with. The right-hand side is where I log what I'm saying to them so that it's recorded and tracked in Teamzy. It's important that we track what we do first and foremost, so Teamzy knows when to bring this person back in front of us again. Make sense? Okay, so let me just show you how to do a power hour really quickly. We're just going to kind of bang through this. Let me move my screen just a touch so I can see everything. Okay, so Adrienne's the first person on my list. Okay, and am I saying your name correctly?
Yes, that's perfect.
Adrienne or
yes.
Adrienne?
Adrienne.
Adrienne. Okay, good. I've done this before and they're like, thank you. That was so wonderful. But you say my name like this at the very end. It's like, oh no. Okay, it's all good. So she's the first person on my list and I'm going to send her a message. Remember, my goal is to make her day. How many of you guys have been doing this already? Have any of you been using my scripts? Have you found people? have you found people going, you made my day? They actually say you made my day. And you're like, wow, that's really what I was going for. That's amazing. So I'm going to make her day. Now, this is where I used to get stuck. I didn't know what to say. It took me a while to kind of figure out that less is more, if that makes sense. So that first message, if you talk too much, then it's like, oh, you want it to just be really easy for them to respond, and you want it to feel really good for them when they get it. So this is why I call it make someone's day messages. I actually have a consulting client who calls them, she calls them MSDs, make someone's day, MSDs. I was like, it sounds like a drug. She's like, Eric, I did 50 MSDs today. But the point is we just want to make her day. So after we released Teamzy and it was out there for a while, people started saying, man, when you do trainings, Eric, it sounds so natural what you say, but I can never do this. I spend too much time. So I put all of my scripts in Teamzy for you. Listen, even if you're on a free trial, you have access to these, you can use them. So what you do is you just go to scripts and click on it, and you just get one that's appropriate. Now I'm going to send her a Facebook message because we're new Facebook buddies. And there's a whole bunch you can choose from. I'll pick the first one. Here's what it says. It says, hi, Jane, just stopping by to say hello. How are you? I hope your day is awesome. Okay. So I'm going to copy that and click on copy script. Incidentally, is there anyone on this Zoom named Jane? All my scripts are addressed to Jane. So it would be so awesome to have a friend named Jane because you never have to change the name, right? So what I'm going to do with this script is I'm just going to paste it in there so that I can do some editing before I send it. Now, this is an extra step. You can go straight to Facebook and send it, but I like to do some editing because I have messed this up many times. So I'm going to change her name. Again, it only takes a second, which is cool. And then maybe put some emojis in here. Now, just a little pro tip while I'm doing this, you guys, and that is just make sure that you, I don't know, whatever emojis you like. Always put, when you're starting a new chat, like a new message to them, you haven't chatted in a while, always put their first name in the message. Okay. Don't shortcut and say, hey girl, or hey sweetie, or okay. Because as soon as you do that, it starts to feel like a generic bulk message. Does it make sense? So we use the first name so they know this message is just for them. Okay. All right. So now that I've got this the way I want it, I'm going to copy it and just toggle over to Facebook, which I have open in another tab. And I'm going to look her up real quick. It only takes a second. There she is. And we're going to send her this message. Okay, so you just paste that in there and send. So you guys see how easy this is? All right, so now we've sent her that little message to stop by and say hi, and then we log it in Teamzy. That was a Facebook message. Log connect, click. And now if you look, I've got 1 done, 8 left. So Jay's next. I'm just going to keep that same message going. I paste it right in there and change the name to Jay. Okay, again, just a quick second, personalize it. And we'll send it to her. Now you have to actually copy and paste because Facebook doesn't let, oh wait, I'm about to message her again. Facebook doesn't let you send personal messages through any app, which is fine. It only takes a second. So there's Jay. We'll paste that in there and send it to her. Okay, so we've now sent her the message. I'll toggle back to Teamzy and log it. Of course, you can do this on your phone too if you're mobile, if you like working on your phone. So now I've logged that one. And now look, I've got 2 done. Now see this little blue circle filling in. So this is my visual cue that I'm headed towards my goal. My goal is 9. When I send 9 messages and log them, this blue circle will be all the way blue. That tells me, okay, Eric, you did your goal for prospects. Next list now. So I'll go over to the next list, which is customers. Okay. And so now I'm going to message my customers. And again, just use my scripts. It's super easy. Teamzy now knows they're new scripts because I'm on customers. So you'll see some great things like, congratulations on great results. Do you guys ever have people with great results? Yeah, hello. So congratulating somebody on great results is absolutely the best way to reinforce the value of your product. There's nothing better than that. I'm so proud of you. You got such great results. Way to stick to your program and get it, and right? Because it's kind of a bummer when they buy the products and don't stick to the program, isn't it? It's like, I didn't get great results. Well, hold up your empty bottle. Let me see it. Right? I love this one. Just real simple. Here's one. How are you enjoying the product? So you take out the word the products and you put in what they're actually using. How are you enjoying it? Please send me an update. Let me know how I can be of help. This is actually a really great one to re-engage customers. How many of you guys have customers you haven't reached out to in a while? Yep, you can use this. How are you enjoying your product? Send me an update. Let me know it could be of help. Okay. It's a great way to re-engage and talk to them. This is my favorite one though for customers. Hi, Jane, just checking in to see if there's anything I can do to make your day. Okay. Now, look, if you copy that, if you copy the script, you send it exactly the same way that we just did with prospects, right? You change the name, you go send it on Facebook or however you want to message them. You know, you can log anything. You can text, whatever, and then log it in Teamzy, and they disappear and the list moves up. Okay. And you're going to do the same thing with customers. My goal is 6. So I'm just going to message the first 6 customers that come up. Over time, I'll stay in touch with all of my customers this way, all of them. Now, guys, your customers are also people who've canceled. They're still your customers. They're yours for life. Okay. Just because they're not ordered in a while, you keep staying in touch with them. They'll order more product. I'm telling you. Now, here's what happens when you're in regular contact with customers. Something magical happens. And I'm not making this up. This is a statistical fact for any kind of business. When you're in regular contact with your customers, they order more product and they retain longer. Can we get an amen on that one? They order more product and they retain longer. How many of you would like to have that happen with all your customers? Even better, imagine your whole team's customers ordered more product and retained longer. Yeah. And we've seen teams. Now, I love that Adrienne has a group of you guys using Teamzy, because what we've seen is that the first month a team does a coordinated effort of using Teamzy, they'll see a 20 or 30% increase in volume. And that's just on a norm. That's not necessarily a special that corporate doing or anything, just normal. Why? Because suddenly everybody's talking to their customers. And people are like, oh my gosh, it's great to hear from you. I need more eye cream. Oh my, perfect timing. I've been meaning to message you for 3 months. And you're like, dang it. Right? They've been meaning to message you, but they don't. But when you message them, they can respond. Make sense? The other piece of the puzzle is this. I just want you guys to think about this really quick. How many of you have at least one customer that you just adore and they love Rodan Fields and you wish you had more people like this in your business? Okay, good. Everyone's got one. It's great. Where do you find people like that? Is there an Instagram hashtag that's going to bring those people to you? Probably not, right? The best place to find a great customer is from a great customer. This is an age-old business principle. We're bringing it back. The best place to find a great customer is from a great customer. So how do you get your customers to introduce you to their friends? Well, step 1 is you got to have a relationship with them. You have to be in contact. You can't message somebody after 6 months and say, hey, could you introduce me to your friends? I'm trying to grow my business. And be like, see ya, right? Does it make sense? But when I'm in regular contact with you and we have a great rapport and it's like, I'm checking in and you're loving it, you're getting great results. It's easy for me to say something like, let's see, who am I going to pick on? Noelle. I see Noelle. I'm going to pick on her. Noelle, you've been getting such great results and I know you've been loving the products. And I'm sure that through the process, you've probably told some of your friends or family about Rodan Fields and how the products are working for you. And before I get too busy this month, Noelle, I just wanted to check in with you and see if there's anybody you care about who needs more information on Rodan Fields. Because since you're my favorite customer, I want to make sure I take care of your people first. So can you think of anybody that needs more info on this, or anybody who's been interested? I want to make sure that I get them all they need, right? And she's going to go, well, actually, I was talking to my friend the other day. Perfect. Perfect. Would you mind introducing me to her? Whatever's the easiest, like a group text or, Facebook message, whatever's easiest for you, just introduce us and I'll get her some more info. Now, because she knows what great care I take care of her, she knows I'm not going to bother her friend. I'm just going to offer her excellent service. Does this make sense? Getting introduced, you guys, as you start building relationships, your team growth will be all through introductions, which means you won't have to spend any time warming people up. They're going to come to you already trusting you. Noelle's friend is going to trust me because she introduced us. Make sense? And what happens when they trust? I get right to helping. I don't have to sell or convince. Isn't that fun? Yeah. And as you build trust, some weird things will happen to you, you guys. Strangers will send you, text you photos of their credit card and say, just order me what I need and stuff like that. And you're like, okay, I guess I could do that. How do I delete this after I've done it? Like this happened to me a bunch of times. It's like, I'm glad I'm a trustworthy person. You're making me a little uncomfortable, right? But trust makes it amazing because you really get to help people. You get to just get right to it. So customers. Okay, next piece, consultants. I get so caught up in my examples. Okay, so we're going to continue connecting with our customers. This little pink circle goes all the way full, which means I hit my goal for the day with customers. Now I'm going to go to the next group, which is consultants. I need to stay in touch with my consultants. I need to build relationships with them. This is so vital. Look, I've just been teaching you guys, how to prospect, how to talk to customers. You're recruiting people through this process, right? But how many of you guys have been irritated by how much people quit? Retention is kind of like the thing no one wants to talk about in our business. You need to keep people. And the best way to keep people is by having relationships. Did you guys know that the number one motivator is relationship? It's not money. It's connection. I asked you guys early on in the call, how many of you guys love the team and you feel so connected to it? And a bunch of you raised your hands. It's that connection. And that's done by the leader. You guys connecting with people, even as the team grows. When you have a huge team, it becomes hard, right? You can't connect with every single person on the team anymore when you get in the thousands, but you can still get all of your leaders and personally sponsored people into Teamzy. Does that make sense? And then you can ask, this is what I've helped some of my friends who have very large teams do is you put your personally sponsored people in Teamzy, you put your leaders in Teamzy, and then a couple times a year you ask your leaders, who on your teams should I have in my Teamzy list? Right? And so your leaders on your team can then nominate people that you'll start connecting with personally, so they feel strong connection. So you guys at the tippy top can really, it's really powerful because people feel like your time is more valuable, even though it's all the same for all of us. When you reach out and message them, it really makes their day in a big way. Does this make sense? By the way, if you've got 2 people on your team, I want you to think of those 2 people the same way as if you had 10,000 people on your team. You need to prepare in your mind for the success that you're building. I just did a video today on the Teamzy Facebook page where I talked about this a little bit. When I started Teamzy, I didn't think, well, I'll start this and then we'll look down the road, we'll figure out if it's going to grow. I spent a year building the platform, making sure the technology was ready for tens of thousands of people. I went through and had an attorney make sure that I had all of my shareholder agreements dialed in so that there would be no legal discrepancies when this was a major multi-million-dollar business. Like the day I turned on Teamzy and allowed somebody to give me their credit card, all that was in place. Why? Because I was building the business to be successful. Does it make sense? Those of you guys who are brand new, maybe you don't even have a consultant yet. I want you to put these systems in place. This is why you're here talking to me. You're going to get Teamzy now. As you get your first consultant in there, you're going to be intentional about building a relationship with them. Does this make sense? And they're more likely to stick around longer. So prospects, customers, consultants, those are the first 3 lists in Teamzy in your Power Hour. I took a way longer to explain it than it will take you to do it. Just get those messages out. Use my scripts. By the way, you guys, the scripts work. If you're skeptical about using the scripts, just try them out. You'll be surprised how well they work. Don't overthink it. Just get it done, right? So get that movement going. So the first 30 minutes, message. Get these make someone's day messages out there. Now, those of you guys who've been using Teamzy, probably the first time you did the response kind of blew you away. People responding a lot. So one thing I recommend is don't run off and answer the messages as they come in. Just keep doing your outgoing messages. And if you have time at the end, you can answer some, but get focused on getting all your outgoing messages so you don't get distracted. So when I'm done with my consultants list, now I'm going to go to my last list, which is my follow-ups. Okay. Now, when I click on follow-ups, you'll see right now I don't have any. Follow-ups are not automatic. So everybody cycles automatically through prospects, customers, and consultants. I put them on that follow-ups list. You can put them on a follow-ups list for any reason if you want to follow up at a specific time or date. But what it's designed to do, it's where I put them after I've shared. When I have shared a product solution with them, or when I have shared the business opportunity with them, now they go on my follow-ups list. Because now we're shifting the conversation from, hey, how you been? How's it going? How's life? Connecting to, you've asked for my help. I've given you some information, and now I'm going to follow up professionally because I promised you I would. Does it make sense? So quick example on this. Are you guys good? You want me to keep going? Okay. Because I know we've been on this a while. Okay, here we go. And then let me show you how to do this and how to follow up, and then we'll do some Q&A. So I messaged Adrienne and sent her this little happy message, and she responds, "Great to hear from you, Eric." How many of you guys got a message like that? Just simple, like, "Oh, thanks, great to hear from you." And you're like, "Now what do I do?" Well, look, let me demystify this, you guys. People are always like, "Now what do I do?" They said hi. I actually get messages every day from people saying, "It worked, now what?" It's like, what would you do if you were in person? I want you to treat these, I know you're messaging online, but pretend you're in person. I'm in line at the bank and you're in line in the bank, and it's like, "Hey, how are you?" "Great, how are you?" Do you turn and face away from each other? No, you continue talking, right? So I'm going to just give you guys my secret little phrase that works amazing. You ready for this? I see people leaning into their cameras. This is good. It's really simple. What have you been up to? Send me an update. What have you been up to? Send me an update. Now, if you're in person, you might not say send me an update, but send me an update. It takes the pressure off them because they know exactly what to do. Make sense? So what have you been up to? What have you guys been up to? And you can get specific, like, how was your Easter, right? Like we just had Easter. What did you guys do? Send me an update. Okay. And then they'll tell you, "Oh, we did this. Now you got all kinds of stuff to talk about. You don't need me anymore." Eric, thanks. I can take it from here. Yeah, just have a conversation. Be a normal person. Have a conversation. Ask questions. Be interested. Now, what's cool is when you get their update, you can ask questions. You can get interested in that. And I just want you guys to know, not every conversation is going to be a home run. Some conversations will fizzle out, which is okay because maybe you're not that close. Maybe they're busy. But remember, in Teamzy, they'll come back in a month or 2 months or 3 months, and then you connect again. Does it make sense? So you're warming them up over time, but you will get great conversations. And I know you guys have already had great conversations. So Adrienne and I, we're going to have a sample conversation like this. What have you been up to? Oh my gosh, send me an update. She's telling me about what's going on in her life. Now, what is the natural thing for me to do? Is to tell her what's going on in my life, right? So here's what we've been up to. We just found and I'll tell you guys, I'll just tell you what's going on in my life. So it's an idea. It's like normal. So I live in Southern California where we haven't been able to go to church in a year. Isn't that crazy? Yeah. And our church is still not open. And we actually found 3 weeks ago, we were just driving around. We found a church that's open and they've been meeting. And so we went to church. And it was awesome. And so guess what we did on Easter? We went to church. My kids are so excited. So I'm just giving you guys an update. Here's what we've been doing. It was so cool, right? It was amazing. And when you haven't done something simple like that in a year, it's amazing to be able to do that. So you give them an update. And what else? Oh, let me tell you what else is going on. Oh yeah, this and that, and we're doing this. Kids are going back to school on Tuesday. That's tomorrow. My kids are going back to school in person for the first time in a year. Also, another major thing. Oh, you know what else I did? I started my own home-based business. Did I tell you about that? It's incredible. I help people with their skincare. I had all kinds of issues with my skin, and I found these products. They were incredible. I fell in love, and then now I pay it forward to help other people. Yeah, it's been really rewarding. It's been great. Not only has it been fun for me, but it's provided extra income for the family. It's been great. Have you ever heard of Rodan Fields? Yeah, that's the company I'm with. It's so cool. You guys see how natural it is? It's not a big deal to bring up your business as part of the conversation. Now, 2 important things on bringing up your business in conversation. Tell them what you do. Be specific. Skincare, Rodan Fields. Let them know. Don't make it mysterious. That's super annoying. Be specific. Tell them what you do and tell them why you're passionate about it. They need to know you're passionate about it. The passionate about it is key because this person may not be interested in skincare, but if you're passionate about it, they'll want to tell other people about it. Does this make sense? I once had a conversation at a neighbor's pool party with somebody who owns a home hospice company. And I said, he said, "What's your business?" And I told him, I said, "What about you? What do you do?" And he says, "I own a home hospice business." And I said, "Oh man, that must be hard." That was my response. How many of you guys might have a response like that? He said it's the most rewarding work in the world. And let me tell you why. He was so passionate about it. I was like really inspired by him. Does this make sense? Doesn't matter what the business is, you guys. It's your passion that matters. Okay. So what you do and why you're passionate about it. So we're having this great conversation. We're messaging back and forth, getting caught up. I'm telling her about my business, what I'm doing, why I'm passionate about it. What's her response likely to be? Usually it's something like, wow, cool, good for you. That's great, right? How many of you guys got that response every time you've told someone about your business? Maybe not, but if you do it this way, you will. Okay, so when she says, great, good for you, it doesn't mean she's interested. It means she recognizes that it's something good for me and that I'm passionate about it, which is all I need right now in this part of the conversation. And then it's just easy for me to go, yeah, it's been amazing. And, you know, if you ever want to learn more yourself, just let me know. I'd be happy to send you some more information. You just kind of put it out there. You just kind of put it out there. People are always like, sometimes I don't feel comfortable putting it out there. And I just want you guys to understand that your business is how you can bless other people. If you don't put it out there, you are withholding that blessing from them. Make sense? I'm not pushing it in her face. It's just part of the conversation. Because if I don't, a lot of times people think, I wonder why he didn't offer any of that to me. He's passionate about helping people, but he didn't want to give me any of that. That's weird, right? Does it make sense? So yeah, if you ever want to learn more, just let me know. Cool. Great. And she says, great, no worries. I'll do that. Okay, great. Well, it's great catching up with you, you know, and by the way, if you do come across anybody else who needs help in this area, please let them know because I want to help as many people as I can. Okay, I'll do that for you, Eric. Great. So you've planted a great seed. You've had a great conversation. She comes up in Teamzy a couple months later. It's like, hey, I saw you cross my Facebook feed. How the heck have you been since we last talked? What's going on? And each time that conversation gets a little bit better. Now, what happens after that first conversation, even to the uninterested people? They're going to my social media. They're looking at my posts. They're learning more. They're researching. They're getting interested. They're starting to see my lives, right? Next time I talk to them, they're that much warmer. Now, let's assume for the sake of this argument, because I need to tie this up in a little neat bow for you guys. She says, yeah, that's really, it sounds really interesting. I would like to learn a little bit more about it. Perfect. Here's what we'll do. Are you able to jump? Because we're messaging, right? Are you able to get on a Zoom or a FaceTime right now? For like 5 minutes, just so we can get off Messenger and talk? And she says, yeah, I've got on a Zoom. I'll send you my link. Boom. Right now, I can't do it right now. Okay, no worries. I've got two slots open tomorrow. Do any of those work? We can talk a little bit more about it. All I want to do on the Zoom is just find out what you need, what your goals are, and see if it's something I can help with. Okay. She says, great. So now we're on a Zoom. And really what I would do, you guys, well, I'm giving you guys way more training than I'm supposed to tonight. Adrienne, is this okay? I'm kind of going off the rails. You guys?
Oh, yes. Keep going.
Are you guys liking this? Okay.
Yes. Thank you.
So on the Zoom, I would have a whole list of questions ready for her. So tell me what's going on with you. You know, what was it about what we talked about that was interesting to you? Do you have any specific problem areas or things on your skin that you're concerned about or that you want to work on? You know, I'm just taking notes. What are you using now? Are you using any sort of skin? What products are you using? Okay, great. You know, what's your nutrition look like? You know, whatever the question. I don't know, you guys. You guys know more about this than me. These are just examples. But I would ask a bunch of questions to really, this is what I would do as a coach too, to get to know you. I need to know what you need, right? How can you sell something if you don't know what problem needs to be solved? So I'm going to find out all this information. She's going to tell me what she wants and what she's doing and what she's struggling with. And then I'm going to give her this magic sentence. You know what, Adrienne? I think I can help you. I can help you. And here's what I recommend. And I'm going to give her my recommendation, right? This program or this kit or this, you know, based on what you're telling me, I think this would be the best place to start. Okay. Does this make sense, you guys? So as I'm sharing this, she's like, oh my gosh, this is great. Yeah, I'm really excited about this. Perfect. How do I order it? You know, I was like, okay, well, I always use the emails. I don't know how you guys do it, but I say, I have an email I'll send you right now that has instructions and links. You can get it all done. Okay. It'll walk you through it. I'll send that to you right now. Perfect. Send that over to me, Eric. I'm super excited. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk to me today. No problem. I tell you what I'm going to do, Adrienne. I'm going to follow up with you. I'll follow up with you tomorrow and see if you have any questions. Sound good? She's great. Now, why am I telling her this? Because 80% of the time, you guys, she will not make the purchase tonight. True? Has anyone experienced this? There's nothing wrong with you. 80% of people in this moment will not make the purchase. You didn't do anything wrong. This is why we have to do the follow-up. Make sense? So let me just show you how this works. We've had this great conversation. I need to log it in Teamzy, so I'm going to look her up. Okay. And you just put in a few letters and it'll bring up their name. There she is. That brings me in her record. So I'm going to log this because I did a share. So I'm going to go in here and say, okay, well, we had a great, or no, actually we had a Zoom, right? So that's the video chat. I'm going to put all my notes from our Zoom and I'm going to click on share. Which kind of share was it? This was a product share. So I'm going to click on products. Great. And now it's set a follow-up for 2 days. I'm going to change that to tomorrow. And I'm going to leave myself a note. It's going to be follow-up number 1. Okay. So when I log this, it logged that share. Let me go out to the dashboard real quick and show you. Now it logged a share. See that for the day? So I got one of my 3 shares done. And if I look on my follow-ups list, there she is due for tomorrow. Make sense? So tomorrow when I do my power hour, I'm going to message Adrienne again. This time it's a follow-up message. It's not a make someone's day message. It's a follow-up message. So let me just show you how easy this is to do. So I'm going to message my prospects, customers, consultants, like I showed you. And then I'm going to come to follow-ups. Any follow-ups that are due, I'm going to send them a message. So I'll go to my scripts again. I made this so easy for you guys. And I'm going to pick one that's labeled follow-up number 1. There it is. Here's how it reads. It says, "Hi, Jane, just checking in like I promised I would. What questions do you have for me?" Now, did you guys notice what I did there? I told her I'd follow up. And then when I followed up, I told her I'm keeping my promise. This is how you build trust. You make promises and you keep them. Does this make sense? This also sets the tone for all my follow-ups as promises kept, not annoying things. So I'm going to copy this script real quick, paste it in there. Okay. Change the name. If you ever send the wrong name, it's okay. You can recover from it. Just have a laugh at yourself. Tell them you were moving too fast. And I always say, like, you can just call me Susan for the rest of the day. Sorry I did that, right? And we have a good laugh. So look, there's the message. Did I copy it? I don't remember. We're going to copy it again just in case. I'm going to toggle over to Facebook. We're going to send it to her. Oh, look, there she is. We're just going to send her that message. Now we've done the follow-up message, boom, sent. Don't overthink it. It's gone. Move on to the next thing. So when I log this message, watch what happens. It says, wait, did you complete your follow-up? Say, yes, I did. Leave that checked. And I'm going to add a new follow-up. So now let's say I'll follow up again on Thursday. Okay. And you can leave yourself a note. Again, I'm just going to say follow-up. By the way, FU stands for follow-up in my world. Just clarifying. Okay. So I'm going to send her number 2. Sometimes I just like to put where I'm at so I don't have to think about it. I can just grab it. So when I create that, now I'm going to complete it. So I'm going to complete follow-up number 1 and I'm going to leave follow-up number 2. Great. So you can see now on my follow-ups list, she's due again on Thursday. When Thursday comes, I do my power hours. It'll be red. It means it's due. I'll go to scripts and I'm going to grab follow-up number 2. Okay. Hi, Jane, just making sure you got my message and checking to see if you have any questions. So we're going to just stay in touch through these little follow-ups. Now, this is really important, you guys. This is so important. The follow-up is where the magic happens. 80% didn't complete that purchase when they said they would. Why? Because 80% of all sales, you guys, happens between the 7th and 10th follow-up. 80% of all sales happen between the 7th and 10th follow-up. So that means 80% will not purchase that first day. And the other 20%, they still take on average 3 or 4 follow-ups. So you didn't do anything wrong. This is just the way people are. Because especially if they spend a little time with you on the phone, on the Zoom, they're going to go right back into their life. They're not going to go stop and do something else right now. Does this make sense? So it's just totally normal. So you're going to follow up. Now, just in all honesty, how many of you guys, when I say you got to follow up 7 to 10 times, are just a little nervous that you're going to come across as super annoying? Good. It's okay. It's all good. Now, let me just teach you real quick how to do this without being annoying. Then we'll do Q&A. Okay. I promise. I won't teach you anymore today. Some of you are like, no, keep going. It's all good. Here's the thing. There's two principles. Now, this took me years to figure out, and I have to explain to you guys how I learned this. As a professional coach, people would pay me $500 a month to talk to me twice for 30 minutes, right? And then when it was time for our call, they wouldn't show up. And I learned that it's because they didn't do their action steps. They felt ashamed that they hadn't done anything that we talked about last week or whatever. And so they would no-show me. But so now I was in this strange position of having to follow up, not wanting them to cancel coaching over this, right? Without being the most annoying person in the world. So here's one of the things I discovered. The first thing I discovered is when you follow up, don't ask them to do anything. Okay? Don't ask them to call you back or to respond, or don't give them anything to do. Okay? How many of you guys have a teenager in your life? Maybe it's your teenager or another teenager in your life that likes to play video games. Have you ever, sorry, I just smacked my microphone. Have you ever asked that teenager to, in the middle of a video game, to go do something for you? A couple of people laugh. They're just like, what? That's the same emotional response to when you get a message from somebody asking you. It's like, oh gosh, here we go. So don't ask anything. It's good, right? Don't ask anything. That's the number one thing. The second one is make sure that your message is short enough they can read the entire message without opening it. Okay. Make sure the message is short enough they can read the entire message without opening it. Now, if you use my scripts, they already take care of that. They use these principles. So just use my scripts. They're good to go. But if you send it on your own, they have to be able to read the whole thing. This is important. How many of you don't open messages because you can't respond right now? We all do this. We don't want to send that read receipt and look like a jerk because we can't, but we are also obsessed with reading the message, aren't we? So it's like, well, look, I mean, I use an iPhone. How many of you guys use iPhones? Probably most of you. You know how it kind of opens the message just when it sees your face? So you can kind of see it. Now, if it's long, it's annoying because I can't read all of it and I'm not going to open it. I may never see it. Make sense? If you send me a long voice message, there's no way I have to open that to get the message. Does this make sense? And I have small kids. Do you know how often it is that they're quiet enough for me to listen to a message? And then it's like, okay, I got to remember to listen to this at 10 o'clock tonight when everybody's asleep. Are you guys with me? So make it easy on them. They want to see your message, but they don't want to respond right now. They mean to respond. They probably won't. That's okay. You just need them to see the message. You just need them to see the message. You just need them to see the message. You're keeping your promise. You're serving. You're helping. You're loving them through the process. This is an important concept, you guys. Following up is not something that's annoying. Following up is an act of love. Following up is an act of love. When somebody says, I need your help, and you say, I'm going to help you. And then you follow up a few times, they don't respond, and you're like, forget this person, they're not responding. You're not keeping your promise to help them. Going back to you parents, can you imagine if you gave up on your kids brushing your teeth the 11th time they didn't brush their teeth after you asked them to? Would there be anybody left in this world that had a smile? There wouldn't. You have to love through the process. Now, here's what will happen. You'll message them. Every time they'll see it, I guarantee you, even if they never open it, they will always see it. They will always see it, you guys, because we're obsessed with seeing the message. Every time they see that message, they're going to remember how cool you are, how great Rodan Fields is, how excited they were about these products. And they're going to mean to respond and get on top of that order, but their life's going to happen. Dogs throwing up on the baby, whatever, driving their car. I don't know what's going on in their life. Something's happening. So what will happen is it will build. It will build. It might be weeks. It might be months. It might be days. It depends on the person, but they'll get several of these follow-ups. I would say most people don't even respond at all to 5 or 6 follow-ups. And most people in our industry give up after 3. But then all of a sudden they'll respond. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry I didn't respond to your messages. My life's been insane. And they'll unpack all the excuses they fed themselves to you. The dog threw up on the baby. Then I was driving the car, and then whatever. COVID-19 hit. Oh my gosh, whatever. And you're like, no worries. I'm so glad we're reconnecting, and I was excited about what, the goals that you shared with me. I'm excited to help you with that. Are you ready to get started on them now? Does it make sense? Can you guys do this? So just to recap how easy this is, now that you kind of have the heart and soul behind it, this system is so simple. You come into Teamzy, you connect with your prospects, you connect with your customers, you connect with your consultants, and you send any follow-ups that are due. And then this is going to create a boatload. I was trying to think of a good word, not a dirty word, a boatload of conversations. So set aside a little bit of time in the day to have conversations. Okay. You're not going to get it all done in your power hour. So what I would do is when I had a full-time job, half of my lunch break, I messaged. And then in the evening, I did it again for another 30 minutes. If you can squeeze it into just a couple 30-minute blocks, if you don't let yourself get distracted with other things. Make sense? You go into messages, you sort by unread, and you just respond down the thing, you get a ton done. Or you can do what I also did in the beginning, which is I was on my phone 24/7 until my wife was ready to throw me out. So you can either do it 24/7 or block a couple 30-minute breaks to do it, if that makes sense. Was this helpful? Okay, real quick, before we do Q&A, let me give you guys some action steps because the coach in me wants to make sure I leave you some action steps, and then you guys can ask me anything you want. Okay, we already did this slide. Here's your action steps. First, go get started with Teamzy if you haven't already, right? Get your 14-day free trial started. If you're already in your free trial, you can set up a subscription at any moment so you don't miss a beat when it ends. Now, Teamzy is $29.99 a month for ongoing access, which is less than $1 a day, basically, to have this system planning your day for you. But right now we're having a special pricing for Rodan Fields where you can lock it in for $19.95 a month. So that's a third off. And that discount also translates to an annual subscription. So if you buy Teamzy in advance for the year, you pay $299.88 for the year. But right now you can lock it in at $198 a year. So just so you guys know, it's great timing because we never will change your pricing. So if you've locked in your subscription price, that'll be your subscription price. Okay, so that's pretty cool. The next action step is I recommend that you get a success partner to do the trial with you. Now I know you guys are doing a team activity, which is awesome, but get a success partner. Say, hey, let's do this together. Hold each other accountable. We only do our best work for other people. Have you noticed that? We don't want to let people down. We want to impress other people. So a success partner is so powerful. Or two, like groups of 3 are very powerful. And what I want you to do with the success partners is, have a Zoom, share your goals. Here's what we're going to do. But then each day, take a screenshot of Teamzy when you're done with your power hour. Now, you might only get 80% done or 85% done. That's okay. But take a screenshot of your work and send it to your team, to your success partners, and have them do the same to you. Because I'm here to tell you guys, it'll be so annoying when they message you and you haven't done your work. Because why? Because you got to go do your work now. But you'll get it done more often. People who just do a free trial by themselves will often message and say, my trial expired. I never even logged in. If you have a success partner or partners, this could be the best month of your business. Make sense? Okay, one last action step, and then we'll do questions. Here it is. I want you to take my 5-day challenge. My 5-day challenge is really simple. Use Teamzy for 5 days in a row and message 20 people a day. You can just use my script, but send it to 20 people a day for 5 days in a row. Why do I want you to do this? It's going to blow your mind, you guys. It will blow your mind. All the stuff that sounded good tonight when I was training you, when you actually do it and you have tons of people responding, it's going to blow your mind. You'll never believe the stories you may have told that things are slow, or I can't get anything going, or I've tapped out my warm market. You'll never believe that from yourself or from a team member ever again once you've done the 5-day challenge. Now, just really quick, let me just see hands. Wait, let me get everybody's faces up here real quick. I'm on. Let me see who's in for the 5-day challenge. Public accountability. Let's see. Okay, good. I see people putting their hands up. All right. I'm assuming you guys with no cameras on are like this in the background. Okay, good. So there's your action steps. You guys got those. Now here's what we're going to do. I know we've been on a long time. I'm willing to go push a little farther if you guys are. If you have questions, you can unmute your own mic and just ask away, and I'll be happy to answer anything.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi. I'm Annie and I'm in Australia. I I absolutely love what you're doing. I love Teamzy. It's fantastic. My question is, you mentioned before about follow-ups. I've got these great, there's this guy, I really want him as a business partner.
Uh-huh.
He's in banking. He's done similar business before, but he got burned very badly. So he's mending.
Mm-hmm.
He's happy to share my posts. He likes everything I put up. Instagram, Facebook, he's there. Whether it's 2 or 3 in the morning, he likes it. He's happy to share. And I've sent him samples. He's tried one thing, the eye cream, and he loves it, but he's just sitting. He asks questions. I've sent him every possible thing there is for him to sign up, but he's just watching. He's just sitting there. I don't know what he's waiting for. I'm trying not to push it. He's going through a health kind of exercise regimen, and I'm helping him with that. So I'm helping him in a personal way as well. But I really want him to come on board as a business partner because I can see the potential in him. How do I not push him away?
Yeah.
I know I have to be patient with him because he has said it out front that he does not want to be part of the business, but even trying to get him to be a PC, a preferred customer, he's still not quite taking the bait, but he's happy for me to, he's happy to share his personal goals about weight and diet and all that. And I'm walking along with him on that on a weekly basis. But how do I get him to sign up as a PC? Because I just want to, I could go over and do facial with him if he lets me.
Yeah. Okay. There's a couple things here that I would address for you. One is like a bigger picture thing, which is as you're working in Teamzy and creating a lot of conversations, you're going to have a lot more opportunities. And when we get a lot more opportunities, then we get less focused on 1 or 2 people that bring a lot of energy. Does that make sense? So the more opportunities you have, it also, the more confident you get. So that's one thing. Right now you're focused on this guy, and he's, what I would recommend with him is you can't, there's a figure speech, you can bring the horse to water, but you can't make him drink.
Yes.
Right? So all you can do is what you're doing is being present, staying in touch with him. Right. Yeah. You can ask him. I mean, one of the things I always say is you got to ask for the sale. Now, I'm the last thing in the world from a pushy salesperson, but I'll ask people, are you ready? Yeah. Are you ready to get started?
Yeah.
And so have you asked him that? Are you ready to get started?
Yes. I've asked him that. This was about 2 weeks ago. And he still said, he didn't say no. He just said, not yet.
Okay, great. So what I would do is I would stay in touch with him, but I wouldn't put a lot of energy into him.
Okay, that's great. Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
It may be that he's, I mean, I don't know him, and it could be that he just likes the attention, but I would put him in I would put him in Teamzy, but I wouldn't put him on as a 5-star even.
Okay.
Maybe move him down to every 60 days where you check in with him. And when he's ready, he'll be ready, or he may never be ready, but he doesn't deserve all that time at this stage. You've gone to the point where you've sent him products. You've done everything you can. You've asked him if he's ready and he's not. It's okay. When you're ready, I'll be here. Just let him know. I'll be here when you're ready, and I'll stay in touch.
That's really good. Yes. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
Not every person is going to convert, but however, you said that he's in banking and he's influential. What you can do is also remind him, if you do come across anybody who might be interested in these products, would you please introduce them to me?
Yes, I've said that to him also last week for referral. So I'm still waiting. And I can see the potential because he is, and he's Asian. So he's got a lot of business potential on his side and friends, and he loves skincare. I just can't get him, but I know he wants to lose the weight. So that's why I'm putting so much more time into him, because if he feels good physically on the outside, then I know he's going to jump on board. And go crazy with the business with me.
Yeah. So again, my advice to you is stay in touch, but put less energy into him, and then take that energy and spread it out to new prospects and new people that you could be starting conversations with. Does that make sense?
Eric, I've got a question. We've got quite a few level 5s on here tonight that have large organizations.
Great.
And I noticed on one of your options that you could link up with your team to see what they were doing. Can you just kind of walk us through that real quick so that all the fives
All
can
right.
see
Thank
how to
you.
get their
Yes, thank you.
download
Sure thing.
plugged
Okay.
in?
Yeah, this is really cool. Okay, so let me show you my screen again. This is one of my favorite things. So if you're in Teamzy, over on the left, it says team report. You see that? So I'm going to click on that. Now, what's cool about this is if your team is in Teamzy as consultants, you can click invite your entire team.
Okay.
And it will send a bulk. It'll only do this one time because we don't want to spam people, right? So you can hit this send bulk invite, and it will invite every person on your team to share their Teamzy with you. Okay. But you can also do this one at a time by just clicking invite team member, and you put their email in and it will send them an invite. Basically, they have to click that link to give you permission to see what's on their team report. Now, let me show you guys how powerful this is. I actually have a report here up from, I think I have it on Bootcamp still, do I? Okay, give me 1 second to pull this up. This is going to blow your guys' mind. So I do a boot camp a few times a year. I lead a specific Teamzy boot camp. Some of you guys may have seen emails or stuff for it if you're in Teamzy for a while. But the boot camp is a 6-week program where it's like really intensive. And what I'm going to show you is my leaderboard from boot camp. So this is kind of what you guys will see because this one doesn't have any data. So let me just find the link here real quick. Here it is. This is so powerful. Okay, wait, hold on a second.
We've enjoyed it so much. We've got Ani in Australia and more than one country.
I know, that's so cool. Well, you know, it's funny because people in Australia love Teamzy. We've got a, hold on, guys. I get the spinning circle. My Mac spinning the circle of death right now. Hold on a second. That's what my kids and I call it, the spinning circle of death. Okay, here we go. All right, it's loading that page. Here we go. Got it. Okay, where are we? Share Zoom. Here we go. Zoom, share screen. All right, so this is my team report.
Wow.
Now this is today. So today you can see who's rocking and who's not. So Jessica right now, and mine's different because I have different companies. You guys, they'll all be your team. So it won't say different companies, but like Jessica did 76 connects today. She's rocking. That's a huge day, right? Wow. And so I can see who's got flames. So they get flames if they've done, more than 30 connects and 5 shares and 3 share, 30 connects and 5 shares, they get flames, right? Wow. So, or 3 shares and 30 connects, they get 2 flames. And if they do 20 connects, they get 1 flame. So I can see who's like rocking. And I can also see who's not done anything. See the little sleepy faces? So it's very powerful. Now look, if I go to this week, usually I would use this as a weekly thing. As a leader, you can do leaderboards. So let me just show you how this works. So when I go to this week and I look back over the week, it shows me what people have done for the week. Now, just to kind of give you an idea, let me share Facebook with you and I'll show you what my leaderboards look like. So the leaderboards are super cool. Here we go. So here's Facebook. Great. Let me go into my groups. For some reason, when you're on Zoom, like the internet's slower, right? Okay. So here's the leaderboard from Sunday. I post the leaderboards on Sundays. Oh, it's under announcements. Hold on. And then people go crazy over these. So here's my leaderboard. It came straight from my team report for the past week.
Wow.
And so all I put was congratulations to last week's leaders, and people go crazy over getting on the leaderboard, right? This shows me who rocked it in Teamzy last week. So this becomes a really powerful tool for leaders. It's a great way to sell. So tonight I talked about how relationship is the best way to motivate people. The second best way is status, which is why you guys have, I know you guys have Mercedes, right? Used to have Lexus. This is why you get the white Mercedes. This is why you get to go to Paris. It's why, right? Like that's status.
Yeah.
It's like you could buy yourself a ticket to Paris. It's great. But when you're one of 30 people going with a company, it's status. It's amazing. Makes you feel good. And this is so this is a way to celebrate. Leaderboards are really great. People look forward to it. And somebody could be brand new to the business and make the leaderboard. Right? They get to be up there on the top, be like, all I have to do is rock my Teamzy for 5 days and I make that leaderboard. So that becomes a really powerful tool. But also the people who you see doing nothing in Teamzy, that's a sign that like they need a little encouragement, right? And so it becomes real powerful. The other thing that I love for the team report is when you onboard a new consultant. So those of you guys who have large teams, you don't have a lot of time to chase down a new consultant, but you're willing to invest if they really want to be mentored. So just let them know. Look, I'm really excited to have you on the team. And if you want to build a huge business, I want to help you build it. But I need to make sure that you're ready to put in the same kind of energy that I'm going to put in to help you. So first thing I want you to do is get into Teamzy. It's free for 2 weeks. I'm going to put you on my team report. And for the next 2 weeks, I want to, we're going to set a goal and I want to see you hit it. Right. And so what we'll do is we'll set another meeting in 2 weeks and we'll review how you did. And based on the energy you put in these first 2 weeks, we'll determine how much mentoring I'm going to be able to dedicate to you. Does that make sense? And so it sets that expectation that like you get to be mentored by me, but you got to put in the work. And this is how I know you're putting in the work, by seeing what you put in Teamzy. So does that make sense?
Yes, for sure. I'm going to do that tonight.
And then just like Ani's person, when that person doesn't show up for 2 weeks, you say, it's okay. No big deal. I understand. I'm here for you when you're ready. So continue to plug in, get on the team Zooms. I'm here I'm going to stay in touch with you. When you're ready, you just let me know and we'll take another whack at this. Right. And then in the meantime, you can focus now on other people who are putting the work in. So it becomes very powerful. So hopefully that was helpful, you guys, on a couple ways you can use that team report. Does anyone else have any other questions?
I have one quick question. I've been using Teamzy for about a week now, and I don't think I have it set up for Rodan and Fields because mine says distributors, not consultants. Is there a way I can go back and change it?
Yep, absolutely.
Okay. How do I do that?
Send an email to support@teamzy.com.
Okay.
And say, please just make sure that, can you please move me to the Rodan and Fields version of Teamzy?
Okay. Okay, great. Thank you.
Now, are you in the free trial still?
I am, yes.
Okay.
I'm about to switch over. Can I change it when I switch over or?
No, because I want you to switch over now because you're going to get charged the full price and not the discounted price. So you need to get switched over right away to Rodan and Fields.
Okay. Will it let me switch? Will it let me change it then, or do I still need to contact support?
No, send it to support because we have to do it on the back end.
Okay. Okay.
Yep.
All right.
But it's easy. Everything will move over. All the names, everybody will move over.
Okay. Good. Okay.
If we do it in the back. So you probably don't need this, but I'll just let you guys know the way that the information is secured in the databases, the data is kept completely separate from other networks. So it has to be, we have to move it. One of our, we have a process where we move it for you. But there's just no way that your data can fall into somebody else's Teamzy, if that makes sense. So it was actually Rodan and Fields that put me through the ringer. It was the Rodan and Fields legal team, the compliance team. that really, really put us through the ringer in the beginning, which was, I mean, they were great, but like, you know, here's what we need for us to not basically come after you. Here's what you need to do. And so we went through, it was great. And we kind of worked with them to write our terms and conditions and create the security. So once they said, we'll tolerate you, we knew we were good. You guys are lawyered up over there. It's all good.
We are. We have a whole department.
Yep.
I have one question. What is CSV?
CSV is just a type of file, like a PDF is a type of file, or a
Oh,
document.
okay.
Okay, so CSV is, if you have, it's kind of like a spreadsheet. So if you have a spreadsheet, like let's say an Excel sheet or a Google sheet, you would have to save as CSV. It just changes that type of file, and then it takes it uploads it. If that makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Sure thing. And there's a little video and a little FAQ on that in Teamzy. Like if you forget, you're like, what did he say? It's all there, and then you can go back to it.
Okay.
Which brings me to an important thing. There's a link in Teamzy called Help Center, which has FAQs and videos and all kinds of stuff to help you through this stuff. But we also have live human beings on our team
Cool.
that are amazing. So there's a little help button, and if you send a message, you'll get a response via email. But you can even set up a Zoom, guys, a one-on-one Zoom with someone on my team. If you feel like, oh, I just want somebody to walk me through this, and you can get a Zoom like this where there's somebody actually walking you through setting up your Teamzy. So for those of you guys who are a little intimidated by that, take advantage of that. I mean, you got to book it. We have a Calendly link where you can put it in the calendar and set up those Zooms. But it's really helpful for people who the setting up is an obstacle. We want to remove the obstacles and help you get productive.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Thank you.
Sure thing. I see a question in here. Somebody asked, can you import your Facebook and Instagram contacts? And absolutely, you can do that. And that's one of the things I love about Teamzy. And that's one of the reasons I built it was I had all these Facebook contacts. I just wanted a way to organize it. So it's super easy to do it. There's instructions on the site on how to do that. Does anyone else have a question? Or even if it's not a question, just like something that resonated or something that you learned tonight that was really helpful, you can share that too.
So I just want to say that this is Noelle from Metairie, Louisiana, right outside of New Orleans. I want to say that your philosophy of relationship and relationship building resonated with me very strongly. I have been listening to the book writers, and I agree with you. They have been using a philosophy for me that harkens back to the 1960s. And I very much appreciate where you're coming from. You have, I mean, I just feel like there were little bursts of dynamite going on off when I was listening to you teach tonight. So thank you very much. And Adrienne, thank you very much for getting Eric to present to us tonight. Big stuff for me. I'm going to enroll either tonight or tomorrow morning and get started right away. This makes
well, thank you for sharing that with me. And you know, the thing is my mentor and co-founder of Teamzy, Mike Lopez, always says every sales approach works, or people wouldn't do it. The thing is as business owners, we have to pick an approach to sales that's congruent with our values, right? Not only congruent with our values, but is sustainable for us without burning out over the long term, right? So, and the last piece is enjoyable. It's got to be fun. So if, you know, whatever works for, you know, different strokes for different folks, but we're probably cut from the same cloth, Noelle, if I'm resonating with you. And I think that, well, I will share this with you guys. 3 to 5% of people in the world have the personality for the go for no approach.
Wow.
And that's why this business has always been about finding the diamonds, right? Just finding those diamonds. Well, because you're looking for 3% of the population. Relationship marketing is what everyone else can do. Does that make sense? So everyone can be a diamond because you teach them how to really, you know what I mean? And you can build a large team, and it's easier to find and duplicate with people because you're not looking for 3 out of 100. You're looking for 97 out of 100 people with their heart in the right place who are motivated, right? We do work with corporate, we have some corporate arrangements where we talk to the people in charge of sales for the whole field, and we say, look, we will help some of your team become mega successful. But what if we could help 30,000 of them make an extra 15 grand next year? What would that do for your business? They're always like, what if we could increase everyone's production by 30%? What would that do for volume in the business? And so we think about building a team. It's like, I'm looking for the next person who's going to be RFX Circle. It's like, well, that's great. You should be, but let's think about the fact that maybe we could get 400 or 500 people this year, have a really nice additional stream of income that can make a huge difference in their lives. Does that make sense? So it's so funny. We're those of you guys who are coming into Teamzy now, you're going to start seeing my emails because we just finished a new training program. My brother from another mother, Mike Lopez, and I, a leadership development program. It's going to be called Lead, and it's coming out in a couple weeks for Teamzy. And on one of these sessions, we talk about setting team goals. So let's say your goal was to be, RFX. What does that mean? Well, it means that a certain number of people on the team have to be lifted up, right? So we talk about, like, people don't think about that. They think, oh, I need this, or I need to get 3 leaders, or I need 2 more level 5s. That's what I got to focus on. Well, it's like, okay, well, to get a level 5, what do they need? Who are they going to help? And 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 so to hit a big team goal like that means that there's hundreds, if not thousands, of people who are going to get lifted up. And so being intentional about, okay, let's look at how this works all the way down, and you recruit a new person and go, you're in a perfect place, because in order for us to hit our team goals, we need to help you get to this level in the next 6 months. Are you in? Yeah, I'm in. Okay, great. So let's go. Here's the plan. So it's like, does this make sense? So it becomes a group effort to lift a team up like that. It takes everybody getting lifted up a bit. Does that make sense? So don't think about mining for diamonds, you guys. It's more like you are, it's more like you're in a beautiful orchard full of trees, full of gorgeous fruit, and it's all around you. So hopefully that helps. This is what we always tell corporates when we talk to them too, is like, you guys have been training for 3% instead of for 97%. Imagine what your company could be like if we trained for 97%.
Smells real good.
All right, let's take one more, because I know we've been on a long time. Who's got the last word?
I don't have a question. Can y'all hear me, Adrienne and Eric?
Yes.
I hear you.
Okay. I don't really have a question, but I did want to just throw this out there and say this coming from somebody that's, I guess, younger in Rodan and Fields. I give you all the praise for this, because I think that this tool, when it comes to younger people that are getting into business, because I think you can get in at like 18 with Rodan and Fields, if I'm right, I think this will be a tremendous help in accountability, because the problem that I see with most of the people that are my age or a little younger, and even some a little older, are they don't find an accountability partner. They get in it and it goes real good at first, and then when it starts to get hard, or when they've been through their good people, they stop. They don't have a good system that keeps them going, that keeps them following up, that keeps them coming back, so on and so forth. And with people my age and younger and even older, the world's so fast paced now that I think they get too distracted from the other things, and they don't make time for it, which, I mean, I know that's most people's problem, is they don't make time for what they need to do. But I think this will be a huge game changer. I know my mind is blown just hearing from you tonight. I'm sure Adrienne's and everybody else's, with all the information that's coming. And I'm like, oh my God, it's the wheels that are just turning and what we can do now. And even being able to see our team, like when you showed us how we could see the people under us that are working, that was like, oh, there's the game changer, because that way we can hold them accountable when they don't have that accountability partner. So I give you, like I said, all the praise, and thank you so much for showing us this, and I don't know, working us through it, because It is amazing. And I know you're only 5 years in, but I can't wait to see where you'll be 15 years from now, because this is crazy. But thank you so much, Adrienne and Eric, for doing this. It's awesome.
My pleasure. Thank you so much for sharing that. And you guys are amazing. This has been a lot of fun. Obviously, I spent a little extra time with you. My wife's probably out there going, what is he doing in there? He needs to come out here and eat some supper. But I just want you guys to know it was enjoyable for me too. I hope it was really valuable to you. And I say this from the bottom of my heart. Welcome to our Teamzy.
Thank you.
We're excited to be here. And it is very humbling for me to play a role in each of your success stories. So thank you guys for your trust. We appreciate it. And God bless you. And
So
hopefully we'll
much.
see y'all soon.
Okay.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye, everyone.